Please be seated. Welcome home to St. Anne's. We want you to know that you're welcome to join us at 10 a.m. on Sundays. Please be sure to hit subscribe to receive our sermons.
The good news is I
to meet you.
My fall and make you feel awkward, but I'll be fine. Let's talk about the gospel, Peter. So I always joke that I have the same sermons. I preach the same sermons. I would think that you guys are kind of sick of hearing them. But today's is Peter. You guys are used to the Peter sermon. The Peter sermon is Peter's a hot mess. Peter never is right. He always opens his mouth and says the wrong thing. So this is a big day for Peter. This is a big moment because he opens his mouth and Jesus is like, hey, good job, Peter. You got it right. And Peter's like, oh my God, yes! I've been waiting for this day forever. Okay, so this is the Peter sermon. So Peter's a hot mess. I don't know if you know that about Peter, but Peter is literally a hot mess. Peter opens his mouth when he shouldn't. Peter doesn't open his mouth when he should. And we all know about the cock crowing and the denying of Jesus, right? We're all familiar with this. And Peter is usually like, hey, Jesus, you're upsetting people, so maybe stop. Because you're making us all look bad. So Peter has some issues, okay? And yet today, Peter gets it right. The old saying of a stop clock is right twice a day. It applies to Peter. So today is Peter's day. So I want us to hear that about the all-encompassing Peter, because sometimes we proof text things, and we're like, oh, Peter, first pope, holds the keys to the kingdom of heaven, the rock upon which the church is built. Peter, the basilica, you know the one, right? Where all the popes are buried. Yeah, okay, all right. So, Peter's a hot mess, okay? And I know in the church we like to clean things up, and if we really can't get them really, truly cleaned up, we gild them. Okay? Have you ever seen the bones of the popes? Anyone been to Rome? Yeah, you've been to the Vatican. You've seen all the dead people, right? And we cloak them in gems and gold because humans rot, but we want to act like popes don't. They do. Because I don't know if you know this or not, but clergy are humans too. I know, right? I mean, yours is. Yours is fully human. A little lacking on the divine, but fully human. We all are, and Peter is too. Peter is a hot mess. Also, first pope, but Peter's married. What? Yeah. So go ahead and pull that out the next time you're talking to somebody who is a big fan of the church in Rome. And it's like, but clergy are celibate. No, they weren't. First pope, definitely not celibate. And there were several others who were definitely not celibate either. Anyway, I have a history degree, so. Anyway, Peter. But what I love about this story is that Peter is the rock. And sometimes, like I said, in the church, in Christianity, we try and clean things up. We try to make them really pretty, right? But I'm going to tell you that the stones that we choose to build the church, the stones that God chooses, are imperfect stones. Have you ever seen anything built out of incredible, beautiful gemstones? No, because they're not stable. And I was really intrigued in Ireland and in Hawaii. Anyone been to Ireland or Hawaii? Yeah, because this is the most well-traveled church I know. I'm not even kidding. Not kidding. The walls, right? The fences in a lot of areas of the UK, but in Hawaii too, they're stone fences and they're dry. stone fences. So here in the United States, we slather everything together with concrete and plastic, right? This was literally a discussion yesterday between my husband and I, and he's like, how do you feel about plastic fences for the farmland? And I was like, I don't like them. They're plastic. And I said, why can't I have a stone fence? And he said, are you building the stone fence? And I said, plastic it is. But in Hawaii and Ireland, they have these incredible fences made of stones. And they're convenient, right? They're not made that way because the people are like, I just love the look of a lava wall. Nobody has ever said that in their life, except for Meg, who was driving around Hawaii going, oh, that's amazing. Or Eileen going, oh, that's amazing. No, because these are poor people and they need a fence, okay? And the problem is their yard and their pastures are full of rocks and lava, and they're like, we can solve this problem twofold. One, we're going to dig those rocks out of there and we're going to stack them up and use them to keep the sheep in. Or the wild hogs out. But they're dry built. They're not built with mortar. So here's the thing. It's incredibly difficult and time consuming to do this because you're literally just using the rocks that you have. And you have to fit them together just so that they will stack and hold that way. And they last forever. Because here's the thing. One of them kind of gets a little bit wonky. You fix it, right? But you don't have to go get a whole bunch of expensive stuff to fix it. Because you've spent the time and the energy to make those imperfect rocks work together. Do you see where I'm going with this? It's not a very subtle comparison, is it? Welcome to the church. It is not made with diamonds, sapphires, or anything really truly that amazing. We are nothing but imperfect rocks. But together, when we're put together with God and intention, grace and love, that's what holds us together. Not anything truly magical. Not anything that some outside force comes in and does to us. But because grace and love make imperfect things really powerful and strong. And that's what God does. God is the perfect fence builder. The perfect mason who says, Meg, she's one hot mess of a rock. That's fine. We'll find the right place to put her. And then maybe if we get just the right arrangement, that will work. And the gospel will be lived out in that place and in that way, and it will be strong. And when sometimes it gets a little bit wonky, we'll just kind of shore it up a little bit. And it will be stronger for having been shored up. Welcome to St. Anne's, the land of the imperfect rocks. Welcome to the church, the big overarching Christianity church. We're full of imperfect rocks. We are nothing but Peters. There aren't diamonds to be found here. But when all of it comes together and is stacked by the one perfect mason, it all comes together and it's stronger and better. So I get it that we want there to be diamonds and we want things to be gilded and encrusted and pure and clean. We want those people over there to do it for us, don't we? Because those are the ones that should do it. Those are the right ones. What if I tell you there are no right ones? Because sometimes I think we do that because it's a way of distancing it from us and it makes it easier. Like, I will consume church. The clergy person will go out and do church for me. Those people will do ministry. And hopefully, if I'm really, really good, I'll know that I'm going to die, so I can say I'm sorry right before I do and maybe write a nice hefty check. And then sail on in. That's not how it works, though. There aren't those people out there who are called to do ministry, who are made to do it. It's us. It's us, grafted together by a Mason who really, truly understands us and how it all goes together. You and I are called to do ministry. We are called to be the body of Christ. Christ has no hands in this world but us. Christ has no feet in the world but us. No body in the world but us. We are the rocks. That's both scary and comforting, I think. I hope. Because the good news is, not one stone is chosen to be the fence. Not one stone is chosen to be the church. We do that together. And sometimes when we get those little chinks in there, there's somebody else to hold it together.
We want you to know that you're welcome to join us at 10 a.m. on Sundays. Please be sure to hit subscribe to receive our sermons. We can't wait to meet you.